Hi, Scott. ROCKFILE back with another podcast review. I'm checking out the 2017 film Atomic Blonde. I don't think I've ever reviewed the movie before. I saw it back in 2017 in the theater and picked up a 4K copy. Back in 2017, I don't even think I had a 4K TV or a 4K player, but I was future-proofing my collection back then. Pulled it out because I've been unpacking and reorganizing my life since I moved into the new house. And now that I have everything in alphabetical order, I'm standing in front of them going, wow, I haven't watched that in a long time. Wow, I haven't watched that in a long time. And I'm kind of picking out movies. And this was just something, it just fit the mood of the night. It's a 2017 film with a $30 million budget, went on to gross $100 million. It was directed by David Leitch, he's worked on everything from Deadpool to John Wick to Bullet Train. Dude knew what he was doing. I think this movie probably didn't do better because you basically have a female in the James Bond role. Charlize Theron stars in the film, and she does an amazing job. James McAvoy is also in this, John Goodman and a few others, Sophia Boutella and Toby Jones. I think everybody does a great job in the movie, and the action set pieces are incredible. This is a movie that really holds up. It is a female version of a James Bond movie. She's pulling tricks on people. She's sleeping with the beautiful women kind of stuff. And the way it plays out with the action, the story, and everything, it's a little under 2 hours. I was thoroughly entertained and a bit blown away. It was better than I remembered it. You got to give all props to Charlize Theron, she was naked in part of the film. She likes to take ice baths to get over the bruises and stuff from some of these fight scenes, and they show it. Show her get out and how she's dealing with the aftermath of some of these more violent scenes. I think if I had a complaint about the movie is that the plot twist towards the end just kind of come wham, bam, bam. It's kind of a triple threat kind of ending kind of thing. And they all just come so quick when we took so long in the movie to build up the characters and the situations and whatever. But then we have an ending, then we have another ending, and then we have an ending. And it's like, wow, okay. That moves kind of quick. But again, I don't know how else they would have done it. I think this is great. They've been working on a sequel since 2020, and it still hasn't happened. Now, this movie takes place in the 80s. Has an incredible 80s soundtrack, like one hit after another, from Depeche Mode to Reflex to whoever. Just really good music that fit not only the mood of the piece and what was happening in the film at the time, but also just really sets the tone of the time period that it was taken in. Now, they've talked about with the sequel or whatever, they might work this into the John Wick universe, but this is taking place decades before John Wick, so Charlize's going to play somebody older, maybe, if they get back together. I don't know. She doesn't have as many fight scenes as I remembered. I remember this being more of an action film. There's a lot of shoot-'em-ups, and she does have some incredible set pieces, but there's a handful of them, and one is extremely long. Like, it's a long one-take, or seems to be one-take fight scene that would be right at place in like a John Wick movie. And with her, it's brutal to watch sometimes, a female in some of these roles. But she gives as good as she gets, and she takes on all comers, does a really great job. Even more realistic than something like Ballerina. Ballerina used creativity to show how a small female person could go up against much bigger opponents. In this, Charlize is going hand to hand, toe to toe with these guys, and they get some hits in, but she gets more, and she'll usually figure out a way to hang them from something, throw them off something, throw them out the window, that kind of thing. I think she was fantastic in the film and makes the whole thing. The script is great. There's some good writing in it. They have people like James McAvoy, who's played characters who backstab people and whatever, so you really don't know through most of the movie on whose side he is, even though he may say he's on one side and act like he's on another. You really don't know where he stands. And there's several characters in the movie that way. There are some assassins that come and go. There's how it all loops back around to itself and how it's very much a product of the 80s with the fall of the Berlin Wall going on in the background. This is just a really great movie, and I thought it was a box office flop, but at a $30 million budget, it made $100 million. That right there is the mark of success on modern movies. So if it made 3 times its budget, great. So anyway, the sequel is supposed to be coming. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I would really like another story in the 80s. I think that, or maybe even the 90s, updated a little bit. But we don't need to connect it with John Wick or anything else. I think let Atomic Blonde be who she is. And if Charlize is still producing it and starring in it, I'm on board because she really gave 125% in this film, and it shows. And that's probably the main reason why the movie's successful. But David Leitch did a great job. He's a good director of action, and this was him doing something more, and I think he nailed it. I think all in all, it's not a perfect film, but I'd give it 4 stars when it was over out of 5 because it solid, well acted, well directed, great action. I was thrilled to the end of it. So Atomic Blonde, if you haven't seen it, is definitely a rated R Cold War type of James Bond story with Charlize Theron starring in it, and she's a total badass on the film. Check it out if you've never seen it, or if you're so inclined. The 4K is chef's kiss. It has great picture. There's a little bit of film grain, but otherwise the HDR really pops these. It's a grungy looking film, but there's some really colorful things, some neon paint, things like that, some of the makeup effects and things like that. Also the surround sound, Dolby Atmos. 5 stars, just a perfect soundtrack. Very directional, hard-hitting, punching, blasts, you name it. It worked out the subwoofers. It gave me a lot of directional stuff. It was very immersive. All in all, it's a great 4K with Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision, and the movie may be your cup of tea. If you've never seen it, check out Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. It was directed by the same people that did Deadpool, John Wick, and such things, and Bullet Train, so it takes place kind of in that extended universe, if you will, of over-the-top action and plot twists and things like that. Really enjoyed it this time around, and now it's going to be one of my favorite movies to go back to. Came out in 2017, so it's almost due for a 10-year edition maybe next year. Check out Atomic Blonde if you're so inclined. I think you can get the 4K pretty cheap these days. Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts on the way. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.